Good day and welcome to Canadian Formal. On today's episode, I have once again been thrifting. We are going to be starting a new segment every month or so every fourth or fifth video, we will be reviewing something that I have procured from various thrift shops. Now this can be any form of clothing, outerwear, shoes, and boots. Now, in the previous episode where I was thrift shopping, we saw some Cole Haan boots. And if you haven't seen that episode, it is going to be in the description. So please do check that out as well. But today's episode is all about running shoes. I've got a very exciting pair coming up. Welcome back to Canadian Formal. I'm Curtis Allen, and I have a passion for making the men of the Great White North look and feel their very best. So once again, I have been out to the thrift store. Luckily where I am, we have quite a few of those, all with a wonderful selection, and I came across a real steal. This is a beautiful brown pair of box calf leather sneakers by Prada. Now, I have not owned any clothing by Prada in the past. I have owned some of their fragrances, but never any clothing, let alone shoes or boots. So this is a new experience for me, but I am very excited about it. So they, in their current condition, look terrible. So we are going to fix that. We have done restoration videos, but more cosmetic restoration. This is going to be another one, but as you'll see, each type of shoe or boot, given the different materials, given the different styles, given the different levels of formality, will all have a different way of bringing them up to scratch, per se. So we are going to go through these top to bottom, front to back, take a close look at them, see what needs to be fixed or repaired, or just buffed and shined, and we will get right to it. So stick around. So I am at my little workbench here, and I've put a cloth over it because the workbench is brown, the shoes are brown, almost the exact same shade of brown. So for the sake of contrast, we have put something of a champagne color underneath. So we're going to get an up close and personal look at these shoes. Now there are various defects. There are some serious scuffing marks along the back here. But one thing I can tell you is this leather is as soft and supple as you could possibly imagine. It is absolutely beautiful. And some of the scuffing just results in a little bit of discoloration. And you can see that around the toe, and that I don't mind at all. I do not mind that one bit, because I think it gives a nice patina to the shoes. And with quality leathers, the older they get, the better they look in my view. And as you can see from the bottom here, in absolutely wonderful shape, running all the way across the sole here. There is some wear around the back there. Now you can get some liquid rubber and you can apply that to the back and give it a day to set up, and it will look not seamless but a lot better than it currently does. But we're going to start with just the right shoe here. Now I've removed the laces, of course, and here are the laces here. Here's the lace for this shoe. And 9 times out of 10, I'm replacing laces in any shoe. These, though, are in outstanding condition. Even the eglets, the little plastic piece at the end of the lace, are in outstanding condition. So we are going to keep those for now. But the first thing we're going to do is sanitize these. So I've got some sanitizer here, And we're just going to start by the inside. And I'm just going to give it a little bit of a spray all the way in and around. And then take a larger cloth. Now this cloth is not for anything but sanitizing. So we are going to take the cloth, rub everything in all the way around, because this has been on other people's feet. And that's not something we want to experience. So we are going to give those a wipe down. Luckily, this antibacterial solution is very potent, very effective. I use it on all the shoes. And just like that, quick little once over, it'll dry in about 20 minutes. The next step is to get a shoe tree in. Now, I want to get a shoe tree in so that it is easier to condition and polish the shoe, because it will help keep the shape. So you can see right there, already it's holding a good shape. So I've got a few products here. Severe Renovateur, which I love, is a leather conditioner. And you know what? We'll give a little spray to the laces as well, because I'm just going to rub that in, just to get rid of really any just dust or fine dirt that you can't really see, because we're not replacing them. So now normally here I would come at it with this style of brush. I'm not going to do that in this case, because I think the leather is too fragile, really. It's very, very soft, it's very delicate, and I fear that this is going to be a little too abrasive. So we've got more of a polishing brush here, and we'll just give it a little bit of a quick brushing, just to get rid of any little dirt or fine debris all the way across there. And we'll be using it again at the end. So we've got two cloths, and so let's get some Renovateur on there and start the conditioning process. Okay, so I'm going to use this black chamois here, and it is a microfiber chamois by Ted Baker. Just get a little on the end there, and a few things we're going to do is just dab it in a few areas, along the tongue, along the vamp, the toe, and just kind of rub it in nice and easy. Rub that all the way in there. You want to get a good coating. You're not going to put too much on there, but we also don't want to waste it. So just a nice little working of the leather. Make sure you get right up against where it meets the sole of the shoe. This is a cemented shoe, as most running shoes are, and that simply means that it doesn't have any attached stitching. It just means that the sole of the shoe is applied to the upper via contact cement. Now I'm going a bit heavy on this area, because this back area is where a lot of the wear is, and that's a little bit surprising, because usually it's up in the toe box. But you know what, if I'm being honest, I prefer it being back here, because the toe box is probably where I'm going to wear it out, and it would be more noticeable up in the toe box as well. So let's rub it all along there, nice and easy. Work it right into the leather. Don't rush, just take your time. I mean, you aren't going to have to do this so often, maybe a few times a year with the conditioner, once a season. And in Canada, I'm not even going to wear these for probably a few months until spring hits, because it's winter right now. And so you might be saying, so why buy sneakers if you're not going to wear them for several months? Well, I find this is a great time of year to hit the thrift shops, because a lot of people are doing kind of beginning of the year clean out of their closets. So you know, I know I'm going to need these in the spring anyway, so why not take advantage? And with thrift stores, I mean, you really got to hit it when you can, because it's not like these places are stocked with a regular inventory. I mean, what they have one day and what they have the next day could be very, very different. So, here, we just got this polished up here, and we will show you, this is the right shoe here. We'll show you the left shoe at the end of the video so you can see just what a difference that's made. I can tell you though, that looks a million times better. Look at the back there where it's all rough and scuffed. I was worried we might need a leather putty, which you can get to fill in some of those marks, but I don't think we're going to need to. So that's awesome. And so now we will just have 1 or 2 steps left. So we're going to let that dry for a minute and come right back to it. Stay tuned. Okay, so we are back. This is now dried, and brought out some protectant from stain and water. So we'll be applying that at the very, very end. But I do want to apply a little bit of neutral polish. I don't want to do a brown colored polish, and that's because I don't want the color to change that much. So I like the patina, I like a little bit of the wearing, and it's less noticeable now since the leather conditioner, the Saphir, but there is still some there. It was a bit much before, but it's one of those things where you want to have a little bit so it really shows that it's been worn in. So this is a liquid polish, and I'm going with liquid and not wax because I think wax is better for formal shoes, and these are running shoes. So we will be tackling that in just one moment. All right, so we are ready to go. Shaking all up here, and just apply it. It's got a little sponge applicator. Just apply it in little bits. You can see the liquid come out, and you just want to dab it around the shoe. Remember, this isn't a dress shoe. This isn't, you know, a Capto Oxford or a Derby shoe. So we don't want that high gloss. We still want it to look like a running shoe. And I do it kind of in 2 stages. The front part here, and then tackle the back separately. And that's because the liquid polish, you don't want it to dry because it'll be blotchy. It won't give you a smooth, consistent look. And if you find there are any blotches, just kind of moisten the area again and then go over it with a cloth. And you want a cloth where it is going to be either the same color or no color. So that's why I'm using the other end of this white cloth, because the end I'm not using is black. I've used on black shoes in the past. So we don't want any of that to bleed into this shoe. So we got that nice and moistened, and we'll just give that nice kind of rubbing it in, rubbing it all around. We are going to take a brush to it at the end, and that will really get the final polishing. When you do the brush, and there's a specific way of doing the brushing where you get best results. So let's actually tackle that right now. Now that we've got that done, put the cap on so it doesn't dry out. And we're going to go with the grain, everything towards the toe. Brush towards the toe, work from the back towards the toe. So everything, nice sweeping motion. Make sure you're not missing any spots. Get right in between the leather and the sole, the outsole there. And we'll go through another component I love about these shoes, now that they are all brushed and ready to go, we can pop the shoe tree out. Of course, we'll put the shoe tree back in before it goes away for a while, and we will give it a little bit of a spray, protectant spray, and then we will finish up by relacing and getting it ready to go. And I'll show you the difference between it and the opposite shoe. So we're gonna wait for that to dry and come right back. All right, so we are all dry, and before we lace it, I just want to show you, this is the difference between inexpensive shoe brands and high quality shoe brands, is look at the insole that you can take out. This has got so much padding, so much technology has gone into this insole with the leather coating on top. And you just want to give it a little bit of a brush to make sure it's all sanitized as well. So we'll give it a spray, because it's hard to get around the toes with other sprays. So when the insole is in the shoe, it's almost impossible to get right down to the toe. So brush that off, put that back in. Now, of course, this means that you can get your own custom insoles, but I tell you, wear that one until it's dead, because it is very high quality, not going to be found in a lot of shoe brands, that's for sure. So we're going to do the laces here, a nice high quality, high strength lace. You can tell the thickness of it, you can tell the number of strands that go into it. Now, because of that, it is a little bit tougher to lace, but that is fine, because it is a sign of quality. Make sure the laces are the same length and then go over. So the amount of times you'll have to relace this is negligible, but you do want to make sure that they are kind of even throughout, and there is a part of the tongue that is detached, so we can run the laces through it. So where it says Prada there, when you have the first A, that's where it is. So we are just going to run this through, and we are just going to hit the Prada symbol there to lace it through right in this area here. So pop that through into the next eyelet, pull that through, done. Same thing through the little hole where the A is, pull that across through the eyelet, make sure they are kind of even throughout, and then through the final eyelet, done and dusted. And then, now that that's complete, we will pop this guy back in. I've gone with a plastic shoe tree just to help keep the shape. If you have wood, that works as well for a shoe tree. So I always like to give them a little tie, just so they look neat when they are stored. And that is that. So let's take a look at shoe number 1 compared to shoe number 2. Now, I think you can see a pretty clear difference. Thank you for joining me once again. Hopefully you've learned a lot in this, our second installment of our thrift store series. Do go back and watch the initial video we did with the Cole Haan Chukka boots. It will be linked in the description. If you haven't subscribed, please do, and ring the bell icon. Also like. Be a friend, tell a friend. I'm Curtis Allen with Canadian Informal, hoping you will stay stylish.